Today we are starting a new book in our study, the book of Ezra. Who is Ezra? Oh, wow. Did I discover some new things today as we began our study for this chapter? It's amazing how you read things and then when you read them again, God just speaks to you through the word. And so I want to talk about who Ezra is and what this book is about. And our reading assignments were chapters 1, 2, and 3. There is a verse in chapter 3, verse 2, where it starts to speak about what Ezra is really about, which is building rebuilding of the temple and the people returning to the promised land. And so this book is more of a historical book where it's writing about things that are occurring within the time of the book being written. It opens up and it just begins to show the return of Israel to the homeland, the rebuilding of the temple, and immediately how they are once again encountered with opposition from their enemy. The book was originally written for those Jewish people who were returning to Israel from exile and Babylon. And this book is in the Hebrew Bible, written along with Nehemiah. In our Bible, it's separated, but not in the Hebrew Bible. The name Ezar is actually a name that means help. And he is a descendant of Aaron, who was also a chief priest under Moses. And he was also related to Joshua, that had become a high priest. We'll see that in the book as we were reading today, chapter 3, verse 2. Now, Ezra was very passionate about God's law. It was his foundation for life, and he used the Torah to remind him and others of how to live righteously. He dedicated his whole life to God and God's people, and he was also seen as a teacher and knew the book of the law of Moses, and we see that later on in Ezra 7:6, chapter 7, verse 6. He not only knew God's word, though, he believed it and he obeyed it. And we'll see that again throughout some of these chapters that we're going to read in the next couple of days. Now, some of the major things or themes that you will see, just to name a few that we're going to encounter as we read this book, is God's desire to reclaim his people. That's powerful. And also the need for us as believers to commit our lives to living God's way, to living righteously, to be living as we are designed to be. And the word is our guide. It's the foundation. God's word is the foundation of living a righteous life. Lots of lessons to be learned in this book. I know it can be a little bit hard to start this book because it starts talking about statistics and number of people and everything that was donated for the building of the temple. But stay strong, hang tight, and you will see a lot more in this book. We see that some of the life lessons that we can learn are how to trust God's deliverance, that he will come through, remain rooted in God's word. And one of the big ones is to act on your faith, to stay strong even when things are difficult or uncomfortable, or we're doing God's work. We know that it is a known fact that we can't do God's work without facing opposition. And so just staying strong in his word and committed to the faith that we have in him and acting our faith out. So I give you back your Friday. This was a quick overview of the book, as well as what we're going to be looking at in this book and learning and some life lessons. So happy Friday. God bless. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday for service at 9 and 11 with breakfast and breakfast and fellowship.